welcome. Thanks for joining me. I hope you find this environment to be stress-free and pleasant, because we're talking about making things easy and stress-free. And I wanted to talk about this because it's such an important theme with this culture. We have like these ideas that you have to work super hard at something and like put in more effort than anybody else to be successful or to achieve anything significant. And it's just not true. It's not abundance consciousness. So this is all a mindset shift. And in this video, I'm going to teach you about like some of the things that I've learned about making things easy and switching the mindset, and also some practices that make it easier to do that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Lindsay, and I talk about all things personal development, well-being, wellness, holistic on my channel. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, let's talk about making things easy. So yeah, I also want to mention that this is like such a common thing, and I think that this is the idea of like things have to be hard and you have to like struggle and like put in like so much effort and energy. That's what's leading to burnout. And burnout has been like a huge problem in my life. Like I've burned out so many times, and it's really common for women. Adrenal fatigue is like so much more prevalent for women, and it's like it's hormonally, we can't like put ourselves in like super stressful positions as much as men can. So we have to be very mindful about like how we're like thinking about things, so that we're not overexerting ourselves in order to just like, you know, I mean, not even just achieving our dreams, just to like, you know, get by. This is very common. So I know for me, like, this is something like, I mean, it started in college, and looking back, it's like, I look back at like how much pressure I put on myself and how difficult I made it for myself. Like I could have made it so easy. And a lot of this is perfection, because like, we have this idea that it has to be like perfect, we have to put in so much effort, and we have to do it more than other people in order to like achieve higher. And so like in college, I was pre-med, I majored in biology, and I took all these difficult courses. And the thing is, like, I mean, I thought that that was like the only path, is to like take these really like difficult, challenging courses. And I could have made it so much easier on myself. Like even if I wanted to, like decided to go forward and like do the medical route, I could have still made it so much easier on myself by taking psychology classes, which were like, for me, just like an easy A. And like, instead of like having to like study and put all this effort into like all these like, you know, serious science classes. So it could have been done that way, but I made it hard for myself. And you know, this happened again later in life, where it was like, okay, like I was working for a magazine, and I had this like monthly deadline, and I had to write all these articles, and they had to be perfect. And in my mind, it was like I put so much pressure on myself for it to be like, I thought I had to like, you know, spend hours and do all this research, and I could have just made it easier on myself by like doing something simple. If I had it in my mind that like I could just make it simple and easy, it wouldn't have stressed me out. And so this is like the mindset shift, where like I can clearly go back and see how I could have made it better for myself. So let's talk about how to make it easy. So I want to talk about some of the things that like you have to kind of like look at in your life in order to examine your mindset. So the first two things that you have to look at are, what is like your like identity and your beliefs about like doing whatever it is that you're doing, like whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. what are your beliefs about it, and like what is your identity? So for example, like for me, it was like I had this identity of I am a hard worker. And this, like, when you have this identity of like I am a hard worker, that implies that you put in hard work, lots of effort. And I could be switching to an identity of like, I just get things done easily, you know? And switching to like more of like the deliverable of like, for example, working in jobs. Instead of like having this identity of like, I work hard, I like do things thoroughly, switching, and this implies like kind of like a value shift, of like switching from, okay, I'm a hard worker, to I get things done easily. I like create the deliverable easily. And you know, this is what's going to make it easier for you. If you are like putting too much value into like your deliverable and not valuing your own energy, this is something that's going to really like make a big difference for you. So like if we are putting so much of our own energy into this other thing that we're trying to achieve and sacrificing our own energy, this is a value shift that we have to make, so that we are taking the energy from that thing, trying to get to this thing or this achievement, and bring it back to, I value my own energy more. This requires letting go of perfectionism. So, you know, getting to a place where you're like, okay, I can make things easy. Like, okay, like, do you guys remember like Tim Ferriss? So he's like a perfect example of somebody who, it's like, he went from like perfectionism, like, you know, this mindset, like if you're to adopt his mindset, it's like going from perfectionism to like, wow, how can I make this easy? Like, I'm gonna outsource like all this work to somebody else. It's not gonna be perfect, but I'm getting it done, and I'm saving myself a lot of energy because I value my own energy over, you know, the product or the deliverable or whatever. So this is like kind of dialing back on perfectionism. And there's also like, haven't you ever like worked with people, like coworkers, who don't put as much effort into what they're doing? Maybe they kind of half-ass it, and like you can see it because you're like more of a detail-oriented like perfectionist and stuff. It's obvious, I mean, it's obvious to everybody that they don't put as much effort into it, but they get it done, and they get it done with less stress, and they enjoy it more because they're doing it with less stress. And they're getting more recognition because they're doing the thing with like better energy because they're less stressed about it. So that's the thing. It's like, you know, I remember like working with people with, like, I'm like, they're like half-assing it. Like the thing that I'm working on is like so much better and more thorough, and like it's better, but they're getting more recognition for it because in the process, my energy isn't as good. Like their energy is better because they're enjoying it and it's not stressing them out. So that's kind of like the mindset shift that like will help you move over. Like, how can I get things done easier and just like get it done, let go of that perfectionism, and changing your beliefs. So again, going from this like idea of like, you know, no pain, no gain, that's an old mindset, that's an old belief. And so we have to let go of some of these like limiting beliefs that, oh, it has to be hard in order to get whatever it is or do whatever it is. And switching to a belief of this can be done easily. And when we switch to this belief of like this can be done easily, we open our mind to creative possibilities. So like, for example, Tim Ferriss, like he had to have been open to the idea that there could be something easier. And that's a really creative solution what he came up with, like outsourcing his work to other people, you know, and paying them less. So like, not that that's what you want to do, but it's an example of a creative solution that once you open your mind to like the possibility that it could be easy, creative solutions will come in. And so again, it's not about doing things perfectly, it's about finding creative solutions that will allow you to get things done easily and, you know, with less stress. Like the energy of ease is actually, it's the same thing as abundance consciousness. So it's like this idea, if we feel like everything is difficult and that we have to like struggle and like work really hard to get something, that is like a scarcity mindset. And like we have to keep in mind this idea that like abundance, it's not the result of struggle. So it's kind of like opening your mind to more of an abundance consciousness. Things can be easy. There's an abundance of opportunity. There's an abundance of creative solutions that will allow me to get this done easier. So also, the last thing that you have to kind of look at is like allowing. And this has to do with like the energy of trust. So instead of like forcing and putting a lot of energy into something, how can we allow, like aligning to that version of us who does it easily and, you know, it's already done, and allowing the universe to kind of like assist us in getting it done. So this is like putting a lot of trust in the universe. The universe is happening for me, not to me. So it's like, it's carrying me where I want to go. So this is trusting in the universe to help us find creative solutions, to do it easy. And yeah, reality is just mirroring like your own beliefs to you. So again, like if you believe that you have to struggle really hard to get something done, reality is just going to mirror that to you. So allowing and like aligning and allowing things to happen easily rather than forcing and struggling and making it happen. So how can we get this, like how can we shift our mindset and shift to more of a mindset of ease? The first thing to do is examining your beliefs and values. And this is what I talked about earlier, is like, okay, what kind of beliefs do I have that is making me think that this has to be difficult, or that there's not an easy way to do it? And what are my values that are making it so that like I'm putting a lot of energy into whatever it is I'm doing? How can I value ease over like perfectionism or something like that that's making things difficult and making me struggle? Shifting your identity. So this is going to be really helpful for you to, like, if you identify as somebody who does things easily, and with more fun and more ease and less struggle, this is going to help you adopt that mindset. And how you do that is you vision. So like basically this is like creative visualization of like a person. You are that person who does things easily without struggle and stress. Accepting this moment is going to be really hard or difficult. Sorry, it's going to be really important for you to accept. And this is going to be the first like step in moving to more of an abundance consciousness and flowing, is accepting this moment fully. If you're struggling against this moment and saying like, no, it can't be this way and I have to control this and blah, 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 that you can't shift into like a flowy, abundant state of mind. So it's important to release resistance and shift into this abundance consciousness. And aligning and allowing will allow you to shift into that like flowy ease consciousness. So aligning with that version of you who has already done it with ease, with, you know, low stress, and allowing the universe to help you and aid you. And then lastly, there's a mantra that is going to be really helpful for shifting into more of an ease consciousness. And I got this from Deepak Chopra. His 7 Spiritual Laws of Success book is really good. Mantras are really powerful because they're actually like kind of more of an esoteric way of like creating something in the universe. And it is kind of like a mystical way of going about it, but at the very basic fundamental level, it is like kind of like sinking something into your subconscious, kind of like a hypnosis. But the mantra is going to be Om Daksham Namah, and it means my actions achieve maximal benefit with minimal effort. So if you use this mantra and you just do a meditation and you say this mantra over and over and over, it will help to align your mindset, your consciousness, and will also be speaking to the universe to assist you. Om Daksham Namah will help you to shift to this mindset of ease. So that's all I have for today. And if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment below. And I will see you next time. Bye.